So something in LA that a lot of people don't know about is that Black communities are almost 3 times more impacted by air pollution, or race is the #1 indicator of whether or not somebody will live close to a landfill or a toxic waste facility. And a lot
Mm.
of that has to do with like redlining or Black and brown communities being closer to environmental injustices. So when
Mhm.
people talk about the climate crisis and when they talk about some distant future, it's happening now in a lot of Black and brown communities. So
Yeah.
that's a really big issue with people living with air pollution and water pollution. And also, it's scientifically proven that spending time outside makes you happier. Connecting with the earth makes you happier, getting that sunshine, breathing fresh air. So it really is like a basic human need to be able to get outside and experience all of that. And it's pretty messed up that a lot of people are living with 2 times the levels of air pollution and water pollution. And I don't think
Mhm.
it's a coincidence. So,
Greetings, my name is Queen Afua. I help people to live a healthy life in body, mind, and spirit. Welcome into the sacred circle, where you will find peace, inspiration, and practical tools for living a happy wellness lifestyle. So come inside and make yourself at home.
Greetings, beloved, who's an
hi.
environmental activist. All
Yeah,
right.
I am so excited. Thank you so much for having me here with you. It was just so lovely listening to everything before I hopped on. So just thank you so much. This is great.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. So you're very vibrant and you must be living a healthy life
Ah, I
from
try.
inside. I can see it. And so you have something to share with us as an environmental activist, because the environment, we have to protect ourselves and we have to protect the environment. It's one and the same. Could
Yes.
you give us the story? How did you get into becoming that? What happened to you that you had this awakening to do just that work?
Absolutely. I mean, I've always loved like plants and animals, and I think that's something that, my family has always been passionate about, like natural healing and things like that. And I don't know, I think I started studying environmental science and policy, but I wasn't seeing myself and my culture reflected in what I was learning about. So when I was learning about sustainability, I was thinking about all the traditions that were passed down from my grandmother, all of her wisdom, that wasn't reflected in my textbooks at the same time. And I think after I'm born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri. So after the aftermath of Ferguson a couple of years ago, that really impacted my hometown, I just started thinking about, okay, our lives matter. And one of our basic needs is having access to clean air, clean water, a healthy environment. And if we're not able to do that, how are we even able to experience joy? And social justice is such a big, big problem. But for some reason, for me, I thought, okay, maybe if I can focus on Black joy outside, then maybe that's the piece of the puzzle, and that's what I want to do. And I think a lot of it is just reclaiming our space in the environmental movement because we've always been here. And if we're not reflected in our textbooks, and we can write our own textbooks, we can tell our own history, we can pass on our own traditions. And yeah, I think all of that, social injustice, and just trying to find ways to access to nature, it should be for everybody, but the brunt of climate justice, social injustice, educational injustice, a lot of it is impacting Black and brown communities. A lot of it is interconnected, and I'm just hoping people, can see that and realize that, because we all deserve to have a good relationship with Mother Earth.
Thank you so much that to bring that awareness and from our community. So how is the community responding to you as you're going to teach? And what's the format that when you go out, you do consultations, you talk to groups? How are you manifesting this and how are we responding?
So it's been interesting. I've gotten a really good response from a lot of people who have felt kind of left out of the environmental conversation. But there's definitely a lot of pushback from kind of traditional white environmentalists who aren't used to considering, you know, indigenous wisdom or African wisdom in the context of their environmentalism and the way that they're, you know, teaching environmental science. So I think it's a really big unlearning process for a lot of people, but the most exciting thing for me is just having people reclaim their traditions. And another thing I think that's super beautiful is that, you know, when we're thinking about sustainability, we have to think about sustaining ourselves first. And I think when we love ourselves, we love the earth, it's all interconnected. So I think that's the most beautiful thing, people just reclaiming their happiness and understanding that they're a part of this great big ecosystem. And that's been really beautiful.
That's very, very beautiful. It's just, I would encourage you. It takes a minute to, how long have you been on this journey as an environmentalist, a healer on this level?
It's been about 6 years, but only recently I feel like I've stepped out and said, you know what, I don't want to follow this traditional environmentalism that doesn't include advocacy for Black and brown lives. And so I think this year was really that year where I needed to kind of separate myself, be with my people, learn a lot more about, you know, the traditions in my family. So it's been about a year of this journey where I'm trying to incorporate intersectionality and, you know, my being into the practice. So it's been about a year, a little under that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so on a day-to-day basis, how does the environment impact us?
So something in LA that a lot of people don't know about is that Black communities are almost 3 times more impacted by air pollution. Or race is the #1 indicator of whether or not somebody will live close to a landfill or a toxic waste facility. And a lot of that has to do with like redlining or Black and brown communities being closer to environmental injustices. So when people talk about the climate crisis and when they talk about some distant future, it's happening now in a lot of Black and brown communities. So that's a really big issue with people living with air pollution and water pollution. And also it's scientifically proven that spending time outside makes you happier. Connecting with the earth makes you happier, getting that sunshine, breathing fresh air. So it really is like a basic human need to be able to get outside and experience all of that. And it's pretty, you know, it's pretty messed up that a lot of people are living with 2 times the levels of air pollution and water pollution. And I don't think it's a coincidence. So yeah, we got to work on that.
Yes, and so what is your day-to-day? You're seeing someone, you're seeing people in groups, are you seeing individuals, are you talking to family? How do you bring your work forward to the community?
Yeah, I think a lot of it right now in this first year is a lot of community building and sharing stories. I'm learning from a lot of communities that I didn't before. So like specifically like the indigenous community in the United States and relearning about their history and their practices. So right now, hopefully soon we can have more in-person gatherings, but right now it's just kind of that healing and reclaiming our space. But in the new year, we're definitely going to get a little bit more involved with policy and start asking politicians to, we're working on a letter right now, but we're going to start kind of demanding that our communities are treated fairly in regards to the environment.
Well, please keep me posted. I want to support you on that movement.
Thank you.
Yes, and I want to put on my website and, you know, make so that we could just, we have to work together. Because you are leading out with that. You're the troops on that end. Okay. We are with different troops. And if we work together, Leah, if we work together, then we can make any and everything happen, healing for our people. Thank you for taking care of us. Thank you for loving us enough to no matter what. You put 6 years in, so you're serious about your work. You are not a fly-by-night. You already went through the fire. You went through talking to people. They didn't hear you. They didn't get you. But you kept going. And so I know you have tenacity. What are you doing? Just one thing or 2 things special you're doing for yourself to keep your in an environment so wonderful and healthy?
I think connecting with my support system, you know, just seeing my mom be joyful. I thankfully my great grandmother is alive. My grandmother's alive. My mother's alive. So having those 3 generations of women that I can look up to who are still experiencing joy, even after everything that's happened in their lives, I think their joy keeps me going. And, you know, on a practical day to day, like I try my best. I wish I could say I only drank like water and I had like green juice every day. I'm trying to get there.
Okay.
But I just sleep because, you know, I love the nap ministries and they kind of preach the message that rest is a radical act of resistance too. So I try to have that. I try to sleep. I literally just try to sleep and nap and take care of myself that way.
Well, it's working. Continue to take good care of your inner environment so you can be charged up to help us take care of our outer environment and to be more aware that we need medicine on all levels. We need the healing on all levels. So, again, thank you. How do they follow up with you? How does everyone continue to stay with you?
Thank you. Yeah, you all can follow me on Green Girl Leah or Intersectional Environmentalist. Hopefully when the world opens up, I'll be like out there in the streets. But we'll see. Hopefully we can build some community in person, but for now, online.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. We'll keep in touch and we'll keep working together. Thank you. Many blessings to you. Thank you. Go ahead with all your work. How long you been doing all this work? You have been as busy as a bee.
I am so blessed. First of all, I am so blessed to be talking to you on this Sunday morning. I have been grinding and walking and organizing side by side with Black women for almost 10 years to get us to this point. Yes,
indeed. Well, you put your time and your devotion in, and you know that kind of work that you put in, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
It is.
Every time you get another sister, group, organization moving, and you getting it back, and I can see the light on you, and I can see your purpose. Your on purpose, your manifest. That's medicine unto itself. How did you get into this work? How did you get into getting us walking, moving?
Queen, I was a Black woman. I am a Black woman who is on a daily search to save my own life. And unlike your previous guest, Leah, my great-grandmother isn't alive and my grandmother isn't alive. And the life expectancy of the women in my family is 65 years old and dropping. And I personally was staring at a death sentence. And I wanted to say, how do I save myself? And so I started talking to a friend, which is probably the start of most all genius ideas, just talking to a girlfriend. And that girlfriend was Morgan Dixon. And we were like, let's talk more walk. Let's stop talking about the problems in our community and let's start organizing. And we said, what could we do? And the very first step was to walk, because it has such historic and cultural significance for our community, because walking has always brought us together in common cause.
You know that's right.
Because when we are walking in our communities, we can audit the problems and start to solve them together. So even beyond the physical benefits of walking, which are tremendous and many, it's one of the single most powerful things that you can do for your health, 30 minutes a day of walking. But beyond the physical benefits, the community that it has provided hundreds of thousands of Black women, it's just been invaluable. And especially during this pandemic, and especially when the country is having a reckoning right now around our past, we are bringing forth a collective healing mechanism, and that is walking together. And it's been amazing to see it. And when you said you can see it on my face, I see it on hundreds of thousands of other Black women's face, and I'm fueled by them and they're fueled by me, just like I'm fueled by you. And I feel like all of our energy is so connected right now in this moment.
Well, that we're quilted. Because when you talk about the walk, I could feel it, because I got to get back into walking sacred women again. In the early days, we would walk around Prospect Park and do our 3.5-mile power walk. And sisters who was like, we got to say, not one sister will be left behind.
Yes.
Left behind her and push her forward. We would all stop and push her forward and inspire and encourage her to walk herself into wellness. So I love that you just took it all the way to the top and you got us walking. And I remember even at nighttime, I would have my children maybe walk with me, or my mate would walk with me, and we would discuss things. And that's what I'm hearing from you. Things have been resolved, healed up, social change. This is so simple and so profound. And that's a part of our legacy. We always did walking.
We always did it. Yes. Yes,
Yes,
we
that
always,
was
and it was
it.
always led by Black women. And it was always
Exactly.
led by Black women, which is GirlTrek's model, which is
Mm.
that Black women trust them. We have the answers. We have always had the answers.
Yes.
We are closest to the problems. And instead of us going out there with a
Mm.
panic, a sense of panic right
Mm.
now, we're
Yes.
saying let's go out with a sense of rootedness that says we
Woo.
have been here. We have been here before. Our
Yes.
mamas have prepared us for a time such as this.
It's true.
And in fact, if we just looked back and leaned into that ancient wisdom, it would push us forward. So I want to thank you for walking around the park, because those were the models that we needed. And you and the women like you who, I mean, so many of us are living, and I'm speaking for myself, we are in families where we didn't have the behaviors, the attitudes, the tools to heal.
Mm.
And what we had was drugs or sex or alcohol or so many destructive things. And so to see women out there, which is what
Wow.
GirlTrek is, we are putting women out there in bright blue shirts, and we are asking them to walk as a service. We are asking them to walk as a commitment to their communities, not just
Mm.
even for yourselves, but so that our baby girls can see us when we're out there,
Oh, yes.
so that when they're growing up, they can say, oh, that's a model for me. So
Exactly.
it's so powerful. And it starts first with yourself, which is what
Yes.
GirlTrek is. So I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
encourage every single woman who is listening to join the movement, to get
Yes.
connected with the Black women. And if you don't know where to start, because that's where GirlTrek is, it's like for all of the women who don't know where to start. And first of all, your book is one of the places to start. Let me tell you, I'm at the beginning. I'm at the beginning. And there's so much knowledge. And so if you don't know where to start with your body, with your energy, with your mind, walking is such a good place. Just
Mm.
lace up your sneakers, one foot in
Mm.
front of the other, 30
Mm.
minutes. And if you can't do 30 minutes a day, do 15, do 10, do
Just
5.
get
I have
started.
I have sisters who started just walking up and down their block, but to
Come
move that
on.
energy through your
Start where you
body,
are. Mm.
yes, and take one step. I believe you take one step, God will take 10 for you. So
Mm.
it's all of it starts with you, though, lacing up first.
Well, you on a mission. How long you been walking?
I
How
have,
long you were walking before you had everybody else walking?
I was, because I practice what I preach, and because I don't want to ask anybody to do something I'm not doing, and because my healing, my leadership is a vulnerable leadership that says I don't have all the answers, that says every single day is a struggle, even for me, that says that I am personally using walking. So, and when I fall off, which is all the time, that I know where to come back to, because it's a North
Yes.
Star. So yeah, I was
Mm.
walking even before I did GirlTrek, and it's just been a blessing to see what's happened over the last 10 years with this movement.
This is so amazing, so healthy. Because I mean, I'm sure that women started to see things like their pressure started going down, the stress level started going down, questions they had forever, all of a sudden they're walking and the answers started coming through. Hearts were healed. They got over toxic relationships in the past.
Say that.
I can only
Yes.
imagine what's going on the walk. What are some
Say
of the
that.
things that are coming through?
We call it the ripple effect at GirlTrek, and you start with one thing and the dominoes start to fall and unfold
Yes.
and open your life. The women who have left abusive relationships, the women who
Come
have
on,
left
they just
dead,
walked away from it.
just walked away, left dead end jobs and walked into whole careers that they had only envisioned in their mind, left, dead family situations, and revived them one step at a time with their footsteps. Yes, and yes, had miracles around numbers that the doctor said you had to have this medication, and they said, no, I'm going to walk it out. So across the board, the testimonies, the praise reports, they are so real. Everything you said and more, Queen. Everything you said and more.
I'm feeling it. I just got this like light bulb in my brain as I'm looking at you, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling this ministry, this walk, and how you have us going. Starting, just walking down your block. Just everybody, put your sneakers on. Just take a walk. Walk with somebody.
Yes.
Is there some type of when you all come together? How does that work? Tell us how this whole thing works.
Yes. So first of all, during the time of Corona, where we have had to physical distance, we know especially that what we are missing is that conversation, that time to connect. So Morgan and I started something called Black History Boot Camp. You can find it on Spotify and Apple, but they're 30-minute
History Boot Camp.
Black History Boot Camp. They're 30-minute walking podcasts. And it's
Oh.
me, it's Morgan talking about the spiritual warriors from our past, talking about the foremothers, talking about the acts of resistance, and doing it while we're walking. So that's the first place I would recommend people to connect. And then secondly, there is a GirlTrek woman in every community and across the globe. You would be surprised. And they are waiting to welcome a woman with open arms. So go to girltrek.org. If you're in Detroit, St. Louis, Oakland, Houston, DC, Baltimore, Miami, it don't matter where you are, we are here for you. So connect with us at the GirlTrek community at GirlTrek on Instagram, because there are women every single day who come to us saying, is there a woman in my community who I could walk with? Is there a woman in my community who I could connect with? When I tell you that there is a disease that is more rampant than anything, that is diabetes, stroke, heart disease, and it's called loneliness. And we are lonely, and we are looking for people to connect. And so part of what is happening with GirlTrek and the walking is that we are meeting a deep sense of need, where sisters are saying, I see you, sister. And I'm here for you, sister. And I'm a check on you, sister. And that has been so good. So there are so many ways for people to connect, and I would highly recommend that they do it. It's changed my life.
Well, you and Morgan, your soul sister.
Soul sister. She's in Accra, Ghana right now. We are on a sabbatical. Every year at this time, we take a mandatory rest, because this work is serious and it requires us to give, and we have to give back, and we want to model the self-care that we are practicing. So she's on a break. Maybe she's tuned in. If she is there, I love her so much, and I'm so grateful to be able to do this work with her.
Wow, amazing work. How do they follow up with you? Say can start today, tomorrow. Is it every 7 days a week? They just come in at different points. What do they make the connection? What's the process?
So you make a pledge at girltrek.org, and it's a self-care pledge. And the pledge, and I could even see some of the women in the comments. The pledge is that I myself am committing that regardless of if anybody shows up or not.
It's words that they speak?
Yes, I commit.
Give me the words. I'm going to say what you say. Go ahead. Call me.
Okay. I commit to a practice of daily self-care.
I commit to a practice of daily self-care.
If I don't know where to start, I will start with 30 minutes a day of walking on my feet.
If I don't know where to start, I will start with 30 minutes of walking on my feet.
Yes, as an act of radical self-care.
And ask for radical self-care?
As an act of radical self-care with a million Black women.
Radical self-care. What's the next one?
With a million Black women.
With a million Black women.
Yes. And trust me, that's in spirit and concept. Say it however you want to say it. But the point is that every single day you are committing to a radical act of self-care, which is putting yourself first, finding the time, 30 minutes a day just for you. And if you don't know where to start, lace up your sneakers and do it in community with a million Black women. When
I get off this call, I'm going to run out of here and I'm going to take a walk. Okay. Because GirlTrek is happening. And it's medicine. It is mental medicine, emotional medicine, relationship medicine, spiritual medicine, creativity medicine, finding your purpose medicine. There's so much happening in a walk together in that unity. Yeah. Wow. Thank you. This is so exciting what you're doing.
Thank you, Queen.
Women. And I feel the medicine. That's why I said we're all healers. I have healers on this call today. And this is how you're expressing your medicine on the planet Earth. More power to you. I'll be talking you up and I'm walking with you.
Thank you so much.
Give us, how do they contact you again? How do they get going?
GirlTrek.org or at GirlTrek on Instagram. You can connect with me personally at Vanessa Trex. I love you so much. I love this community. I am a healer, but I am being healed by all of the knowledge that you are pouring into us as Black women. And I just want to thank you so much.
Thank you. Healer to healer. I'm glad to be here.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. That was so much fun. I can't wait to get out of here and start walking. Yeah. But I can't go right this second. I got to bring Queen you got me so pumped up. I can't wait. Me and Wahida.
That's what walking does to you.
97. She might have to take a little walk this morning.
Please do. Please do. Connect with the joy. Yes.
Thank you.
All
Thank you
right.
so
Bye,
much.
Queen.
Bye-bye, honey. Be well.
Thank you to all my subscribers. We are giving away a free 7-day detox kit when we reach our milestone goal of 50,000 subscribers to this channel. To enter for your chance to win, all you have to do is subscribe to our channel, like and comment on this video, and we will choose the winner from the comments section. Thank you for growing with us. Ashe.